Today we're going to do something I've never done. We're going to use this John Deere 6615 and pull this Schulte SRW 1400 rake, and we're going to work up some new ground and try to get it cleared and ready to plant some grain on it. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Ruth Farms. My name is Luke. Today is Thursday, December 26th. It's the day after Christmas, so if y'all didn't catch my last video, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year's. Today, we're over here on our new farm, over here on the Johnson Farm Road. This is behind me is where the landowner has been clearing some land. For the most part, these were small trees, but they've been clearing all this stuff over the summer. And I've been meaning to get in here before now, but we're coming in here now. We're going to try to get some wheat planted or something, maybe that kind of as a cover crop. If it warms up enough this winter for it to come up and grow any, or at least to be a cover into the spring. We've came in here, we've spread about 3 to 4 tons of chicken litter to the acre, and then I had soil samples taken before that, and we got our lime recommendations, so we put lime on all this. Got somewhere around 10 to 15 acres of new ground. One patch of it is right here, one patch of it is over there, but I've kind of came through here with a disc, worked it up a little bit, tried to drag it a little bit, but we still got a lot of rocks and roots and stuff, sticks and whatnot in it. So the landowner has this machine here. It's a John Deere 6615 tractor with a Schulte, if that's how you say it. It's a SRW 1400. It's basically a root rake. So it takes, just like a hay rake does, and it brings all those roots, rocks, whatnot over, into sections. I've been practicing with it, playing with it, because I've never used one. This right through here, there's not much, but you get on out there towards the middle ways and towards the end, and there is a lot of really good sized rocks and roots and sticks that we're trying to get out of the ground. That's just less stuff that our planters, our drill, anything we run over the ground, it's got to run over. That's hard. Rocks and stuff's hard on discs. Our cutting blades on our drill, on our planter. So as many of these rocks as we can get out, the better. And not to mention, it's less stuff for us to run through the combine next fall. Which my plan for this whole farm, which is about 50 acres next year, will be to run corn on it, and then corn on this new ground. We won't have to worry about picking up rocks and sticks. So that's kind of the plan for right now. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, today we're using this John Deere 6615 and the Schulte SRW 1400, and we're going to windrow some rocks, sticks, and whatnot, and try to get this new ground ready for me to plant some wheat on it here in just a couple hours. Let's see what happens. So essentially, this thing uses the PTO to spin the drum back there, which has teeth on it, which is angled towards my right side, and that takes all these rocks and roots and takes them from the left side all the way to the right side. Essentially, all we're doing is we started kind of over here in the middle, and we're just working our way this way. We're taking this windrow of rocks that we've made, and we're just bringing it over, and then we'll come back and do it again, and pushing it until we get over here to a certain point, and then we'll bring a rock bucket on a skid steer and go in and scoop it up. And the rock bucket basically just has slits in it where the dirt can fall through, but your rocks and your roots and stuff won't fall through. It's a pretty neat process. It sure beats the heck out of doing this by hand. It would take us days to do this. A lot of this rock here and these roots and stuff aren't really big enough to hurt anything, but then you've got some like that one, and you've got some down here that are big old rocks. they would definitely do some major damage to the combine. If you can tell behind me, all that thing does is just spin. And it will take all those rocks, all those roots, everything, and spin them to that side over there. It does a pretty daggone good job of it. Leaves the ground looking really pretty back there. Hopefully that'll leave us a pretty good seed bed to plant our wheat into. This wheat will just be a cover crop, but it'll help keep the ground from washing and stuff so much, and help by taking up some of those nutrients this winter. We went ahead and applied our chicken litter this fall on this, and then I'm going to apply some more in the spring just to try to build this ground up. You know, this had trees on it, has never been fertilized or anything, so it's probably going to take a while, and it's going to take a lot of nutrients to get this ground into good operable conditions. But it's just going to take time and a lot of work. We're going to get there. It's hard enough to get ground around here. If I got to take a little new ground every now and again, I'm going to do it. Not to mention, this is surrounded by the 35-acre field that we cut our soybeans on. These are our full season soybeans. We're located about 1/4 of a mile from my house. We're right here, kind of in the central location of where all of our farmland is. So the ideal location for us to be farming. All right, so I got a good place here, kind of show you guys what this thing does exactly. All right, so you know, this is ground we've already went over, and you're gonna have some places that have rocks, mainly places where there's like a low dip or something. I'm gonna try to get some of these back here on the end and rake them that way. This thing's not gonna do a perfect job. It's only gonna get probably 95%, but 95% is a lot better than none. But again, we got this John Deere 6615. It is hooked up to this Schulte SRW 1400. All right, this thing is hooked to the drawbar here. That's how we pull it. And then it has a PTO shaft that runs a gearbox, which makes this thing turn. This piece of equipment is set on an angle, if you can tell. This thing is at an angle backwards from the tractor, which allows the rocks and roots to go to that end. It then has these teeth on this drum that spins counterclockwise. So it spins just like this, and it just kind of rotates those rocks and roots, as you can see right here in this pile, away from this end towards that end. So y'all can see we've got a windrow there, and then this is what we have already done. It's taken all this windrow and everything that's in the middle here and raking it to this side of the machine. It's a slow process, but it sure beats doing this by hand. And as you can tell, I mean, we got a nice windrow up through here of rocks and roots, and we're gonna push all these over here towards this ditch here in the middle, and then we'll take the skid steer and work on cleaning this up. This is kind of a wet area of the field right here. I don't know that we're gonna be able to farm it at all, but we're gonna try to get it cleaned up where we can farm as much of it as possible. But like I said, you know, for the most part, other than little dips and stuff where rocks will fall in, you know, we're getting 95% of them. And you know, these smaller rocks like this, I'm not near as concerned with that. That will do damage in a combine, but it's not going to do the damage that a rock like this is going to do in the combine. And we're pretty much getting every single one of these rocks. And a root and stuff like that ain't near as bad. You know, they'll rot out after a few years. And a lot of these small rocks, when we go over this with the grain drill here in a little while, it'll actually push them back into the ground, and we won't even have to worry about them. Well guys, it took me a little longer than I thought. It's pretty much took me all day, but I pretty much got this 10-acre patch completely knocked out. Pretty much got it smooth. I've got a row of rocks here and right down through here. I'm gonna bring the skid steer bucket one day next week and push them up. It's looking much better in my opinion. Hopefully it'll be good enough at least for this year now. I was hoping to get over here today and drill this in a week, but that ain't gonna happen. It's getting about 5 o'clock. We've got a post-Christmas get together, and then tomorrow we're going to do some stuff for my wife for her birthday. So I'll be busy all day tomorrow, and then Saturday and Sunday they're calling for rain. So it's probably gonna be a couple weeks before I get back over here and I'm able to plant this. At least I hope I'm able to get back over here and plant it now. But at least on this section of the farm, all my lime and all my chicken litter are worked in. There is another about 3 to 4 acre patch going down through here. I'll show y'all here in a minute. But this is the bigger chunk. The way they had to do the ditches and stuff and leftover wood, it's kind of makes this one a pain in the butt to plant, but we'll figure out exactly how we're gonna plant it, and we'll go from there. I ain't exactly sure how we'll do this, but like I said earlier, should be all corn next year. That's the plan anyway. Should put us between this and what we have right through the woods here, should put us, I think, around 60-ish acres of corn. So we're growing all the time. Last year, our first year of corn, we had 25 acres. This year we had somewhere around 42 to 45 acres. And next year we're gonna have close to 60. So, the Lord's blessed me. And, hopefully we'll have a better year next year as far as weather and our crops and our yields, as well as crop prices. Crop prices keep going down. It sucks watching it, but you know what? It is what it is. Well, we're done here on the Johnson Farm Road for the day. I'm gonna go put this tractor back up, and the root rake. Very good possibility we might borrow it again to work this other patch up here. This is our other patch that we've got up here. Goes up to that corner up there, and it just kind of completes this field. It's pretty rocky, as y'all can tell, so it's gonna be heck on the planter probably. But it is what it is. I can't not take this ground, even though it's a little crappy, because then I lose the whole 35 acres. So might just wear a planter out a little quicker, but. Here it is. We've got a little drop off right here, and there's still a wet spot down there. We're gonna have to do some work overall on this over here, but we'll get there. As y'all can tell, the ground's a little bit gray. That's the lime. We're getting there though, y'all. Slowly gaining a little land. Alrighty, y'all. Here it is. A week and a day, or a week and a day or two. I filmed the part running that root rake on a Thursday, and here it is the following Saturday. So, 9 days or whatever. We're out here. It has since rained a considerable amount, so we're kind of making a mess. Hope I'm not making more of a mess than what I'm helping. We got the John Deere 4250, the 750 grain drill behind us. We're putting some wheat in the ground. Just trying to kind of get something out here just to act as a cover crop. It'll be probably middle of April, maybe May, before we get in here and plant this into corn. And I just want something to kind of maybe help keep from washing a little bit. So I don't know that it's going to come up and do any good, but we're going to try it out and we'll learn one way or the other. It is now, it's now end of January. We've got a lot of really cold temperatures coming here in North Carolina, so I don't have a lot of high hopes that this is going to come up and do any good. But, I got the wheat. It was already in the drill, so I might as well put it in the ground. Because there's one thing I can guarantee, and that is if we don't put it in the ground, it ain't gonna come up. So that's what we're doing here today. It's starting to get dark on us. This morning I went and took a roof off of a old shed that a guy had given me. That'll be another video coming up here soon. And I delivered a load of hay to some customers. So we've been running around all day. My back's sore from doing that building today, so I'm about to give out. And it's beating and banging around in this cab on this rough new ground. It's rough. But I'm hoping, you know, the wheat for the cover crop, as well as this drill helping hopefully push down any of the rocks will help. This first year, you know, we're gonna plant corn on it, so this first year's not nowhere near as big of a deal. As far as rocks, running a corn header, there's really no chance of getting the rock in the corn header. But now the following year, when we do soybeans, that'll be a whole different story. But we've got our chicken litter and our lime spread on this. I've put about 3 to 4 tons of chicken litter this fall. Hopefully that'll help kind of start building that soil a little bit. And then we're gonna come back in the spring and put at least that much, if not a full truckload to the acre on this new ground. If I've got the litter, I'll probably go ahead and put a full truckload. The ground's kind of poor. You know, they just got done clearing it, so I'm sure it's gonna need all the help it can get. We're letting the auto steer do its thing here. I can see good out through here, so it wouldn't be hard to plant by eyesight. It's getting dark rapidly. I know it don't pull up in there, but the sun's setting back there. I'm gonna try to get as much of this as I can covered. We got more rain coming this Sunday, or excuse me, I think it may be Monday it's coming. So it's only gonna get wetter. Hopefully we're not causing a lot of compaction, but I would really like to get something growing on this so that it won't wash as bad. But hopefully we'll be able to raise a halfway decent corn crop on this spring, this summer. We'll see. I've never had much new ground like this, so it'll be interesting to see kind of what kind of yields we get off of it for the first few years. Need to come out here and do some walking and riding on a Kubota, pick up a bunch of rocks. That's probably not gonna happen this fall, so maybe next spring or something we can get out here with it and do it.